In December 1914, soldiers from York were sent tins of chocolate as a gift from the Lord Mayor and Sheriff of York. The specially decorated tin, containing 2 bars of chocolate, was engineered to boost morale and provide hope and comfort to the troops on the battlefield. The chocolate, manufactured on your doorstep, travelled across Europe to the troubled Tommies of the Yorkshire Regiment. The chocolate was manufactured by Rowntree's, the York confectionery company famous for bringing us Kit Kats, Smarties and fruit gums. Now owned by Nestle, it began with the Quaker brothers Henry and Joseph Rowntree in 1862. Like the Cadbury family, their Quaker values of sober and peaceful living impacted how the business was run. The consumption of chocolate was seen as less harmful in comparison with alcohol. Originally producers of cocoa drinks, from 1881 they expanded into gums and fruit pastilles. Not all their products were successful though. For example, they once tried to make a health food containing chocolate and meat. Rowntree's flourished under the management of Joseph Rowntree, who became the owner of the business in 1883. Life outside of the factory was hard, but over the years he used his wealth to tackle poverty and improve conditions for his employees. Life in the Rowntree factory was good. They had access to healthcare, a savings scheme was established in 1905, and from 1910 workers were entitled to pensions and sick benefits. Education was also provided for the factory's younger workers, and Joseph helped to set up the city's public library. 1904 saw the building of New Earswick, a village of affordable, good quality housing, enabling factory workers and others to escape the slum-like conditions of the city. Outbreak of war in 1914 caused a conflict between the pacifist beliefs of those workers who were Quakers and the duty that was imposed on them to serve their country. Some, like William Varley, became conscientious objectors and were tried in the Guildhall for refusing to fight. Other Quakers set up the Friends Ambulance Units in order to save lives and contribute to the war effort without fighting. One of their hospitals was based on part of the site of the Rowntree factory. Over 1,000 men served in the Friends Ambulance Unit. The interest in the welfare of the local community extended even to those overseas, as the distribution of the chocolate box shows.
In 1914, the Rowntree Cocoa Works gave every serviceman from York a box of chocolate, and this is one of those boxes of chocolate. What makes this one particularly special and virtually unique is inside is not only the chocolate, which is really nice because it still smells of chocolate, and as you can see it says Rowntree York, Rowntree York, Rowntree York, and there's 2 layers of chocolate. But what is equally important and nice is that we know who received the chocolate. A Private Peacock. He received this in Hull, and he does survive the war, but he sends this back to his mum, and his mum keeps it.
The boxes were shipped out to battle zones, to hospitals and those in prisoner of war camps, where they would have been greatly welcomed by the Tommies. Life on the Western Front in particular was more gruesome and traumatic than their letters home ever let on. Tommies would face mud, water, rats and death on a daily basis, and so the simple bars of chocolate would have been gratefully received by the soldiers. For some, the chocolate was literally a lifesaver, as one soldier, Sergeant T.J. Williams, describes.
I'm writing these lines to inform you what good service one of your tins of cocoa did for me. We were advancing across an open field under very heavy fire, and now and again dropping flat on the ground. Well, I just got down when a bullet entered my pack. The next man said to me, "Are you hit, Sergeant?" I said no. However, we had no time to think about this at the time. But imagine the surprise I got the next day when I looked into my ration bag. I noticed that the tin of Rowntree's was penetrated on one side and not on the other. What luck! The bullet had lodged in the cocoa, thereby saving my life.
Some chocolate boxes had a journey that came full circle. On the home front, chocolate was very expensive, and as a result, many Tommies sent their gifted chocolate back to York as a present to their families, wives and girlfriends.
Chocolate was a luxury, and I think you have to think about how this bar of chocolate really meant to somebody. I don't know about you, but if I've been given something that's so special, you want to save it for that rainy day. And if you don't have it today, then today's not as bad as the next day could be. So it's about pinning all of your hopes onto an object. I know if I've been given gifts of, that's the box I'm going to save for a really special occasion, And it's that sort of hope and kind of pinning those hopes onto a solid product that I think really enables people to have that support to get them through.
Over 1,000 men from the factory signed up to fight, and by the end of the war, 179 had been lost. In 1921, Joseph Rowntree opened Rowntree Park in memory of those who had given their lives. For those who came back, life would never be the same. In the words of the editor of the Cocoa Works magazine in October 1915, "One wonders what strange experiences they will have to tell us when they come back to the old firm. How different will be their outlook on life, these men who have lived daily, hourly, under the shadow of death, who have known other lands and peoples, who have wrestled with strange tongues, and having passed unscathed through Armageddon, come back to the daily rounds and common tasks of the Cocoa Works."